What's up, everybody? I know you caught me putting down my glasses. I was thinking, I get on here and I do a video, right? And I start to do the video, and something in my head says to me, yes, you over there, what was that? I already said this before. I'm repeating myself again. You bought a ticket to the show. You came to the show because you wanted to go to see what it was. So you know I'm saying it again. So therefore, you saw me before. So if that means maybe you only saw me once, but now you heard the same thing again. You don't think the comedians go on stage and they say the same thing over and over and over? What's good about comedians is they're automatically stoned, okay? Once they get into that world, one little drink, one little puff, nothing at all. But once they get into that world, whatever you say to them, it's going to be up your ass. So I'm going to be repeating myself and talking about nothing. You think I stink? This is garlic. Trying to understand it. Radish. And glue. So can you figure out what I'm doing? I'm going to drink it all down with this. It's not glue. Oh my God. Was it Lancet water, friends? Is that what it is? Or are you expecting me to come on here and cry? Hold on a second. Let me get my cry face on. Because then I can release those energies inside, the emotions and everything that's stuck inside of me. And the minute I cry or have sex, I'm ready to go. But if I had the wrong sex and I wasn't feeling good before about something, I ain't really going to feel good about something later either. My name is Ronnie. My name is made with 9 and 5, 59 equaling 45. My name is Eternal. One of my first names. Probably going to die because I'm smoking another cigarette, but where did the cigarettes go? Are you waiting for me? So this is what these guys do, okay? And I really want to cry. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, so I'm not going to tell you why these two guys helped me to cry. Just once. Rodin's got his ways, his numbers, whatever it is. I really never even got enough time to watch enough of it. I'm so busy doing my own. I don't want to say this, but this is something that I thought of before. That when somebody is building within their own mind, it's hard to go into somebody else's mind to have them turn you into it and show you that way. Because if I grind in to see it, I'm going to have to grind my way back out to see how he got into it. How they got into it. In my life before, I didn't have to say this. But I say it now because the more somebody tries to not teach me, but show me a way, not different from mine, just another something that I somehow, the minute somebody tries to show me something and I connect, I don't want to go any further. Because if I go any further to the totality, I have to make sure that I can bring whatever my own knowledge is inside the other belly of the whale. I may have a life, but I'd be in somebody else's whale. And I always say this because if I learn it, I don't want to forget it. So I got to remember the address and how I got there and open up a new file. And as we go on into the dimensions, this file now opens up. It branches out. But it doesn't branch out new. It's branching out new because we found another file inside the system that matches. So they put these two together on another part of the family tree. The letter W. I only made it small. I left this on the same level. It's all one level, and it's taking up 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. I'm going to extend it. And if you really look closely, when you extend it, The X, I added an X. The X can fit perfectly in there. So we know this W can trap this 7, 8, 9. 7 and 9 are the two X's, the two X-Men. Two sides of who you are, one world and the other world. You have to go over into this world, but you have to pass through this world to get there. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. So I have to get down and dirty in business, right? All business, no pleasure, no play. Come on, man. Look at this. I got this, and where are you, babies? Where are you? There you are, kids. Hey, kids, how you doing? You want to come for a ride? I got a couple of kids over here. Here's my monkey. At the best time he's going to pick up something is like this. But he's weighted on one side. He always falls unless I hold him by here. Now I'm not holding him by here because he's holding one here and one here. The opposite of what the fleur-de-lis is. The fleur-de-lis does this. Okay? She has to be an anchor. Just thought of it right now. The fleur-de-lis has to be an anchor. That's why it's everywhere. That's why they put the buoy in the middle of Jesus Christ when they put the signs up, because it's a goddamn anchor. Does that mean we're anchored into Alaska because it's Anchorage, Alaska, so we're all in the north anchored in, Quebec all the way up? But now if it's good for one thing, it's got to be bad for the other thing. They're putting it all over the place. I live in Quebec. They call it Je me souviens. It says I remember. But the whole thing is that means backwards. The Belle Provence. Why was it the Belle Provence before and now it's I remember? Anyways, my other friends are these. They're called jacks. They got, I think it was, did I drop one? If I did, I'll be missing one of them. So I got 3 in orange, okay? And I got 2 in blue. And I got 2 in white. That's 7. Supposed to have more. But anyways, so the fact is when they sit down, they always sit on their ass. They don't sit on these 4 points. See, and you don't even see this one moving in the center. You don't see the center moving. You only see these balls moving. This would be the Christ of Cross, would it not? This would be an X-Man. This would also be a multiplication or a plus. But when it's leaning down like this, okay, you got your 2 feet on the ground, you got your 2 arms in the air, you got your dick, you got your, I keep dropping them, you got your dick, okay, pointed forward. Look at the angle. This is the angle of the earth, right here. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made these things. Otherwise, they wouldn't work properly. So that would be the angle of the earth. Now, I always thought, yeah, that's more like what it is. I'm not sure what that angle is, but we have to figure out 45 degrees. Let me see where it is. Well, I don't have it here. 45 degrees or half of it, 22 and a half, 22 and a half. One side is 22 and a half, the other side is 22 and a half. We can't do that. So we're going to put one side at 23 and one side at 22. That's also 45. The 22nd letter and the 23rd letter are VW, Volkswagen. V for life, of beta of the secondary creation. Because somewhere there's a brain to this whole thing. Somewhere there's a brain, you know what I'm saying? When the 6 dice is sitting on its side, okay, that means the opposition 1 is also sitting on the side. So you're no longer using the 1 anymore. The 6 and the 1. Now, if it was like this, where you see the 1 on top, the 6 is on the bottom, okay, your side, if you turn it to this side, it's no longer the same thing. Because first you were north-south, okay, and now you're east-west, northeast, northwest, all the way around. N-E-W-S, N-E-W says new. N is the 14th letter, middle of Rubik's Cube, 1 and 4 is 5. 41 is the Mediterranean. But now I'm starting to think that 43 is the 41st. I think they may have switched it around. because 41 equals 5, right? 43 equals 7. That means China would be 101. The other way around, it's the Mediterranean, 101. So this 1 would automatically make a 90-degree turn and end up at the 5. Or 2, the 1 could make a 90-degree turn and end up at the 2. And it goes right into the center of the 2. The 6, see the way it is? North-south. We have to turn it this way. Now it's east-west. But it's supposed to be this way. And when you do it, it creates the letter N or Z. Because the minute you hit a 45-degree angle, when you get on a 45-degree angle, my friends, it ain't that side and it ain't this side of the dice. It's in between. So where was I right now? The 45 to 22.5 degree angle. So when you have this dice on the 4, we turn it to one side, it's the 2. But there's nothing there. Only the corners. So you have all the corners here. You don't need these corners. So we'll turn it the other way and we get the 5. Now the 4 is inside the 5. 4 and 5 is 9. Doubles up all the corners. 4 and 2 is 6. It doubles up 2 of the corners. But if it was like this, the dice, and you turn the 2, the angle of this dot towards this side ends up going towards in the center. Do you follow me? If I put this on, how can I do this? Can't even see a number. These 2 dots, when this thing is turned on an angle, those 2 dots will cut at a 22.5 degree angle, and then you'll have what you call a flat back, which is this compared to this. This automatically is the Christ. The Christ, if you want to see what they're presenting as the Christ on this earth, I'm going to show you. This is what they present as the Christ on the earth. Okay? This. But 1 is not good enough. There must be 4. If he was a God, excuse me, it must be 3. If he was a God, they had to put 1 on his left and 1 on his right. So I have to make 3 of these now. Or 4. There's 2 ways to make them. There's many ways to make them. One of the ways, I'm going to try and show you over here. Is this way. Look at the size of that tic-tac-toe, eh? Looks like there's a head over here. I'm going to put a head over here. You don't have to do much to put a head. Let's put a little line. But I didn't even have to do that because you see these 2 angles over here? I'm just going to make them a little thicker. Then all of a sudden, you have a guy who's looking at you. There's his nose, and he's checking you out, but it's tic-tac-toe. 1 cross, 2 cross, 3 cross, 4 cross, 5 cross, 6 cross, 7 cross. All these. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's 4, there's 8. When you start with 2 at the top, you start with 1. Then you have 2, then you have 4, then you have 8. And after this, you have to change this, and you have to make another one, another 8. But when you make the other 8, and you add this 8, okay, is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. Now, why did we go down 1? We went down 1 because these things connect. So the corner is lost and gained, lost and found. I'm going to try and see if I can draw this here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I did it quick, okay? I added this one here, okay? So this line has to go up a little higher, and this one has to go out. This one will touch here, this one will touch here, and one will go on. Or, excuse me, this one should go right into the corner. There's so many ways to do it. because it designs animals after that, depending on which one you color in, depending on which game you play. So anyways, you get my drift. So now you add 8 and 7 is 15. 7 and 7, okay, is 5. And the reason for 5, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do the whole design up and show you why it does what it does. One of the reasons is because there's 6 sides to the dice cube, okay? Besides what anybody else's reason is, I'm telling you from a different standpoint. When we put all our standpoints together, it'll look like the biggest puzzle in the whole entire world. No one's going to beat that puzzle. Okay, I made it straight, okay? What happens is you have your this, and then 1, 2, 4, 8, and then over here you have your 8, which regards into 7. Okay, then what happens is when you get to the 7 and 7 is 5, it's because it's over here in the middle, taking off your corners and adding on your corners because you're doubling up. So you go down to 5 from 7. Then you connect back over here, 5 and 5 is 10, because 10 is the whole. You went all the way down to the bottom and you started over whole again. Here was 1. This is 10. We call it, if it was in Monopoly, I'd have to go over this, and this might be 1, and this one would end. Okay, I'm not going to tell you. This one would be 1, this one would be 11, this one over here would be 31, and this one over here would be 41. But forget about that. That's because there's 3, 4 different games I can play. So now then we come over here to 10. 1 and 1 is 2. We do the whole thing again. The reason it's 10 is because the minute you, okay, I'm going to buy a piece of land. So now we're in negotiations. And we buy the piece of land. We signed a piece of land, but we haven't done anything with the piece of land. But the scenario that took place is a 10. You started at the beginning with your own spirit, thought of the heart. You went over, you took care of the whole contract, you dished out the cash, whatever it is, you bought the property, it's a 10. Now, from that 10, it's 10-1, 10-2, 10-4, 10-8, and then you hook up the other one to this one. And then we have the Mark Rodin's number and how the tic-tac-toe connects, because I have to shrink it because it's too big for me. There's so much in there. Oh my God. I can go on forever. But talking about that, 78,732. Now I look at it and say, let's say it was the number of moons on Earth. So I looked at the calendar and I says, what do I have to do in order to get 6,054 days? Why 6,054? Because if I take 6,054 years, excuse me, not days, years, and I multiply it by 13 moons, I get 78,702. I'm off by 30 moons. 30 from go is jail into creation. So that's basically your 30 moons. It had to stop at 702. 732 is a complete, but we have to take off 30 for the creation. And then we have to take off another 11 for the medication. Mediterranean, Monopoly, the medication, the water. Bad spirit water, my friends. Bad spirit water in us. Something they did to us. You think we were just born from your mother and father? Can't be. Sir Rodin is finding all these things that connect so perfectly. The highways are lined up with the hydro lines, with each state always arriving right in the cities the way it has to be. You got to pass through the city. So anyways, we have 78,702 moons, which is, okay, an extra balance in days of 7,567 days. Now, when we talk 30 moons, this is more or less the way I see it. For every little bit of space, you put a moon so nobody falls out from the water tunnel. So you put a cap on it, or a cap underneath it showing only half a moon. And the zeros, 30 zeros, I don't know what the distance is, the wind to come all the way down to think. 30, creation of the thinking mind, the command and the create from one's own mind. 33, the Christ is in man's head. Man 6, he's 4 and 2, he's 1 and 5, 6, because he's everything. He's 2 and 4, 6, because he's nothing. He's 3 and 3, 6, because he's creating everything. And now, if you have 4 and 2, or just a 4, he's always keeping out of trouble. But when he gets into the number 2, he's back into trouble. So now we have to bring, I want to bring the finality, okay, 6,054 years, like I said, okay, but when I added on the extra moons, it came out to another number, but we're leaving that out. There is an extra 7,567.5 days. 0.5 days means 12 hours. Why 12 hours? 1 plus 2 is 3. Why 12 hours? It's halfway around the clock. Half-half. Split it up fair. Not only that, the extra days. What are these extra days? The 1.25 days there are at the end of every single year that you guys make up for, but I don't. Now listen to this. In the Hebrew calendar, 5,775 in time now would say we have 75,075 moons. Look at the difference between Rodin's number, the extra days here, Rodin's number over here, compared to the Jewish calendar at 6054, and I'll explain to you because he's missing, and this is the extra time in days. 75,075 is the number of moons that man had. 6 is the 3 and 3 world split between 567 and 567. We don't need the 6. We have 5775. That's the electronics, my friends. G-E-E-G. That's the letters in the alphabet. But they don't only say that. 5 says W-E-N. 7 says I am. G, I am. P, I am 20, I am Y. 16, 25. Oh my God. 25. Now we got to go around the alphabet again. I'll come out the FG. 5775 says W-E-N, when, Gypsy. More or less together with these three, we have Egypt. Beta creation in time of the passage of Christ happened near Egypt, what it says over here. The phi or the if, or to defy. There's no T here, but we all know if you look at the Y this way, okay, you see the T? And if you take a look at it, it says K-O-G. G-O-K, K-O-G. Where am I? But there is no K. But this already looks like the K. Anyways, forget about this. Forget about that. The point of the matter is P and T, which is the T, like I said, it's right here. It's the point, because if you notice, the P is holding onto it, onto the Y, and he's trying to chip into the ground. It's all games. Whatever I'm going to do from here, whatever I'm going to get in a game, it's all going to be games. It's all games. When the kid comes into the world, they're still playing games. You go to work and they don't answer you, and you're not nice to anybody because you're still playing games. So if we're not playing games, then whatever I'm doing, I'm playing a game all by myself. This is not one in a simplicity. This is not, oh my God, I don't believe you did it again. And the person who did it again better start to think why he did it the second time or the third time. Because if you keep pissing everybody else off, eventually we boil in water and we bust. Medication. So now we have, did you understand that? Now what I'm going to go, this is really neat. Now, I want to get the other 30 moons. So I'm going to have to go 28, if I remember. No, then I have to go 30 times 28. 28 is man, 28 is the moon, 2 and 8 is north and south, the thinking man, the light energy, 2, 5, and 8. 2, 5, and 8. Why 5 and 8? Because 85 is the matrix. So what happens now, in order to get the other 30 moons, I have to get 30 times 28. Is this the answer? 84. You know what 84 is? These two, and whatever, because there's so much. 84, 28 and 28 is 56, and 28 is 84. 8 by 4 is 32. 8 plus 4 is 12. Barack Obama, 44th president, becoming the 44th president, making his number 4444. Times 2 is 88,888, and that is the total of everything. You know that? Barack Obama, 44 and 44, and 45th president. But right now we're going to work on 44. We have 44 and 44 equals 88. But forget about that. We have 44 and 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 4s in a row. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 5. But we're not going to touch the 5. Because the 5 is halfway. The only thing it's going to do is reduce us to a lower level. So we don't have to go to the lower level. You're not leaving me. I want a cigarette. I'm having a cigarette. Sometimes I feel like a little kid here when I speak. Because I'm trying to, I mean, everybody says it's retarded that I can't find my lighter. But everybody says, why do you do that? You look so dumb. You're so this. I'm saying, hello, hold on a second. You ever turn on the TV? Well, that's what it is. Right from TV. TV land. I was painting my floor before I came up here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go 44 and 44 Barack Obama. That's 44, 44 Barack Obama. When he comes in and he goes out, he came in as 44, he goes out as 44, he goes back into the election at 44, and then he comes out at 45. So 4444 makes the 4 corners. We're not gonna do the center. We're gonna do one level. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8. Because 8 now is 2 boards. When you start with your 1, and you create now your 2 spaces, and then you create your board 4, and then you create 2 boards 8, or 2 levels of the dice cube inside the house. When you build onto this house of 8 and 8, shouldn't it be 16? No. Because you built an extension onto the house. So 1 wall, 2 walls come together to become 1. What was the outside is the inside, is the outside of the other house, but it's now both inside because they took away the wall and put a door. So 4444 times 2, you can do 2, you can do 4, you can go 6, you can go 8, but 8 is a total because of the earphones we wear. We wear these earphones. Except this wire, you don't see it, and it's up here like this. You know when you're getting that infusion of blood, this is the way we're hearing. We're hooked on phonics. Vibrations, my friend. When you hear that fridge going, it's telling you a story. They build these things, but the machines tell stories. So 44444 is 8,888, right? But we cannot, I'm going to show you this. This is a total. I should be multiplying 4 by 4 is 16, by 4 is 64, the chess game, by 4 is 256 memory. 256 memory, 256 memory, 512. Three primary numbers that Mark Rodin uses. 88 has to go with a division in it because you can't have, this is 2 and 2, this is your 4. In one game, this is the way it looks. This is the in-between. 8 times 8, 64. 8 by 8 is 64. Zion is what it says. 4 by 6 is 24. 4 and 6 is 10. It equals 34. 34 and 34 is 68. Because one of these 8s has to change. Okay? You got the heaven of the man. Okay? The man is in the heaven. The heaven of the heaven. Heaven of the heaven. Heaven of the heaven. The 25% connection. Before you get birth, you're connected with a mind inside when you come out. That's why you cry, because your body knows. The minute you come out, that 8 drops to a 6. Five and 3 is 8. 6 is on the other side. So now that we have the 88 and 88, and we figured out it's part of the brain and it fits right into Mark Rodin's thing, the way I see it, I'm not complete on it yet. I still have his page I was doing last night. Actually, I was advancing the cars a little bit. Now, the 88, 088, I need my calculator. I don't remember which number I used yesterday. 650, no, let me see. 6066 times 13 equals, wow, that's 78,858. Let me see this. What did I do again? I know you're here. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. 788.58. Oh my God, 6066. And me and him are at 606. Where are we here? I'm at 6054. And this number comes out 6066. The last dice before anything started. Before they landed here. Wow, this is crazy. So now I'm still trying to figure out, this is 88,000, 7286 times 13 equals 94,718. No. Anyways, I want to finish off what I had before, and I'm going to get back to it. When I added on to round off 78,732, it took this amount of days. This number over here, if you take a look at it, 112, in all actuality, it's talking of the two worlds, and it becomes A plus L equals 13. A plus L equals 13. A is the first letter, the L is the 12th, 1 and 12. But this is a 5, the E that belongs to the A world, your pinky and your thumb, or your thumb and your pinky, A and E, E and A, whichever one you want. The transfer, when it's an A, when it's an E, the transfer, AT, angel transmission transfer, transfer field. So we're going to get back to over here. It made the amount of days. We ended up to 78,732 moons. This equals to 840. I added it together. 364 days and 112 days. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. 3, 6, 7, 741. If you go to your telephone and take a look on the left-hand side, I think that's horizontally like this, it equals 741. 7 by 4, 47 or 74 is Christ and the time of Christ and the Spirit of Christ. Now listen to what I just said. Did you hear me say Christ? I was wrong. Because the word that we have to use is Jesus. Why Jesus? Because J is the 10th letter, E is the 5th letter, S is the 19th letter, U is the 21st letter, and S is the 19th. Actually finishing off, 2 S's are 1s or 10s. They're supposed to be 10s because if you look at your keyboard, The 0 is after the 9, so it actually doesn't go to 10, it goes to 90, because it's all 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. When you get to 0.9, you're just talking about everything that was before it. When you get to the 0 at the end, you're talking about everything before it. Whatever is going to be put out there, this is the space I take. That's all it is. 0 is the space. It's nothing, but it's a place. It's, I'll hold your car for you in this place of this space. And you give me a little spirit, I'll hold it a little longer. So we did that, and 74 and 47, because TIME, T20, I9, M, watch out for M. She's a very funny gal. M, full of love. M is the 13th letter. E is the 5th letter, equaling to 47. The opposite of that is Jesus. When you say Jesus in French, it says I am. When you say the month of May in French, it says I am. Christ is number 77, but he can't be 77 because you're on the Christ. It's the light within you. Now, is the Christ that was presented to us in the time of John the real Christ? I'm not sure, because of Chrysler. They're always running 4 years behind. And I figure if Jesus was really there, why would he waste any time designing? Just keep taking the designs off of everybody else. Guys who just want to buy Chryslers will never notice it. They'll just say, whoa, look, brand new, but they won't notice that Honda's done that 20 years ago. So it's a carby for me in most take, not all of them, but this is the vision, don't forget. As you grow up, you get a vision. This is my vision. Everybody has their own vision. We come together and we share the vision to see if we can expand our own visions. Because if you know you're not going to get anything for yourself, you're not going. And it's very easy. You go there. If you're going there for the love, go. Go, go, go. So anyways, now I had this one other number. Oh yeah, Jesus again. Jesus, okay. If you take his numbers, 74 or 75, he also says the year ends in 2014, Hebrew calendar 5775. And we all know it ends before that. Okay? We're into what we were calling the last 30 moons. Okay? Spirit, angel, and man. So what are these last 30 moons? When does it start? Well, the cycle, okay, ended and began in 9999. And 999 and 999 is 1998 ending, connecting to 1999. A reboot. Reboot. 90, 90, 99. And a reboot, those television sets all said 52, 55, depending or not if they were standing on their heads. Did you watch the program like I did? I loved it. So it ended in 99 was actually the first year. In the year 2000, when we celebrated the year 2000, we were celebrating year number 1 complete. Not year 2000 starting. Year 1 starting. In 2002 is year 2, introduction to the Veda world. The center energy. After 9 months and 11 days, when the Twin Towers went back, that energy was in our field. 9 months later, 11 days, Spirit Angel of Man, 9/11, the birth of 9/11. My cigarettes keep going out, and I keep dropping them on the floor, so. Jesus and Christ, the two names, and the cross. And I can probably find more, C-R-O-S-S. Now when it says cross the street, or is somebody crossing you? In the bedroom, it's okay. But it means, is somebody crossing you? So cross and Jesus is a total of 148. 74, 74. Plus time is 195. 195. The spirit of man. I, E, and A. Those are the letters. 195, I, E, and A. 1, 5, and 9. From 9 to 5 and 1 to 5, it's the same thing. It's 4 hours. I'm working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. So the 9 ends up going the same thing as the aces in the center. Turn over that 9 card, and you go in the center, and 195 plays from the center. But after the 9 moves into the 8 world, he becomes a 6, because only a birth is 9. It happens, and it's during the pregnancy and the birth, boom. He was a 9-month birth, but he's a 10 perfect baby. 9, 10, 11. IJK, total of 30 creation. So we went from 1999, and we went all the way to 2008. 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. Boom, finished. The end of 2008. Now you start again in 2009. The first disaster happened 2 years. The next one is 3 years. The next one will be 4 years. The next one will be 3 years. The next one will be 2 years. The next one will be 3 years. The next one will be 4 years. The next one, and it'll keep on going. But here's the way it works. It jumps 2 years. And then in the middle is the 3rd year. Hops over 4, goes back 1. The frog. Hop over 4, go back 1. Hop over 4, go back 1. Don't forget your front feet and your back feet don't end up in the same spot. Once your back feet get to your front feet and your back feet have made a step, but your back feet, if you're in the snow, you're going to wipe out the step from the front foot. So where were we? You can ask me. I'm trying to figure out this one little thing over here. I don't know why it's not calculating. Just give me a minute. 60, 60, 60, 6. Oh, I got it. 6025. No, 6, 6066. No, 6066. Just stay with me. Just one more second. Times 13 equals, no, 6125. It was easy yesterday. It happened like so easy. Times 13, 6125. No. Wow, 796 and a quarter. Wow, the birth number. The number of moons. Wow, these count for all the moons. They tell a story. 5 numbers, 2 sides. 7 and 9 on one side. 7 by 9 is 63, and 16 is 79. The other side is 625, and the 625 is man in the quarter of his mind. 2, 2, and 2. 2, 2, and 2. Hooked on phonics. Okay, so that didn't work out. So let's say 6250 times 13. 6660 times. I want to get this before you go because I lost it on my page. No. 6780. 6780 times 13. I'm stupid. I have the answer already in my head. 88 divided by 13 equals oh, that's what it is. Oh my God. Oh, I knew I had it easy yesterday. 88,088 moons. Okay, now I got to go. Okay. 6 years from 7286 to 6776 is 0, 1, 5. Wow, this is insane. This is insane. Now just let me multiply this one more number. Oh, it was right on the board already. 6 and that and that. Nope. Times 1.25 equals 8470. 8470 extra days divided by 28 equals 302.5. 302 years. Well, 302 moons. Okay. Barack Obama, like I just told you 10 minutes ago, 4444 ends up to be these numbers here, 88 and 88. 6,776 years. Isn't that uncanny? Expo 67, United States, Spirit of 76, gives you the total number of moons of this. These are the extra days. Everything's going to have to work out at the end, but look at the numbers. The difference between 7286, where this project all started, and this makes a difference of 510 in time. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because Barack Obama and not Barack Obama, I'm sorry, the B&O rail is the 26th property, the 25th to get there. 85 the matrix speed. Reverse this. 85 the matrix speed, you get 9 and 1, which is the spirit. Remember I told you 1, 5, and 9 will always replace each other? 1 and 9 gets back to 1 again. The letters, the 10th letter is J, the 5th letter is E. The 3 letters combined, okay, are A, E, and O. The 15th letter, the 1st letter, the 5th letter, and the 10th letter. I am angel, electronic, O, water, space, electronic space. I am the electronic space. This is what it's telling me. The spirit of 67 and 76. Okay? We have to question what that spirit actually is. We have to understand, because you know what I think that spirit is? I think they're basing this all on Jesus, because when you go to court, they make you put your hand on the Bible. So I'm thinking J-E, it means je, it means I am, it means to play, but it just means I am 5'10". Or excuse me, it can be saying also I am 5'1". It also says, okay, because we're Trinity here, so we can put it all. Put the jack back over here. Oh, I didn't put my line on the jack. Do I have to put my line on the jack? There you go. Now we got the Mercedes sign. We have the Gimel. We have the O, which is the water at the top. Water comes down to here through the piping, goes down to this side and this side for the spirit. On one side we have the angel. On the other side we have the spirit, the electronics. Down in between is where your birth comes in. 1, 9, 5. You have to come down in the center, over here. Then you end up moving over here, which ends up to be back in the center again, because you're going this way. As long as you're not going into this, you can go this way, because it's no longer the north-south. So now we have that 88 of 88 of 88. So this whole thing tells us that we're at the end of the moons. Okay? You can't go past 88, because 8 by 9 is a totality of what is. 9 by 9 is a repetition of what is what? 9 and 9 is 1. You're nowhere. 9 is the one spirit of birth. You have the birth. You're nowhere at all. So you cannot go to 90 because we're talking about taking away everything from the game. What are we taking away from the game? We take this away from the game. 888, your 33 of Christ. 8 by minus 3 is 5. All right? 55, 505. 8 and 3 is 11. 8 and 3 is 11. 2, I'll do that after. 8 and 3 is 11. 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 On one side, you have 11, 11. On the other side, you have 11, 11. 11 times 11 is 121. So now we're going to go over here. 11 times 11 equals 121. 11 times 11 again equals 121. Equals to 242. So this is when the gates, I mean, everything I'm talking about is when the entry passage is on the right angle. Okay? So when you add these together, plus 505, 5 and 5 is 10. There are 2 of them. 10 and 2 is 12. You can do the same thing over here. You don't need both of them. You add them up because what's going on the 2 sides. We're going to use 1. I add 12 to here. I add 12, 254. 5 and 4 is 9. 2, 5 and 4 is 11. I'm not going to add the 4 for the totality. I'm just going to add what I didn't add. 5 and 2 is 7. 9, 11, building number 7. 254th day, September 11th. Everything needs a passage of the moon. 12 days. It's underneath the 14 days. Otherwise, it's not. And then my number would be wrong in that situation. Now what I'm going to do is shorten her up a little bit. Because if you really look at this, this says November 11th. November 11th. November 2nd to November 11th. Same thing over here. 22 and 22. 2 times 2 is 4. 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 The total is 8. I stop at 8. I do not want to rotate. I want to stay where I am. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to the beginning. 44, 44th president. 48, 32, 12 equals 44. 4 by 4 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 7 by 8 is 56. 5 and 6 is back to 11 again. 5 and 6, 5 times 6 is 30. 5 and 6 is 11. The numbers will always come back. They're all the same numbers. As long as you do it the right way. Wow, it's an hour already. Wow. Raphael, before I let you go, since you're here this long, the baseball. The H and the I right here. This is tic-tac-toe. The wheels go around. Look at that. It's going this way. Hey, there's another one. Is that the same one? This one is blue, but this one's black. Wow. So now we have the stitching in port number A, the stitching here in the middle. This on the roulette wheel, from this here until this part over here on the roulette wheel, okay, we'll say 17 and 20 and 23. 14, 17, 20, 23. And then you'd end up at the end of this. A, B, C. And then we turn it this way. And we go A, do it again, B, and C. 6 parts. Different size. One is a little bit more rounded out. Both the same thing. Number 33. So if we're number 33, are we considered like a baseball? Sure, because it's a game and it works and it sells. If it didn't sell, it wouldn't be one of our cells. Raphael 7286. Should I let it go now? There are so many things. I just threw a bunch of things on my dresser before. The 3 card. See the duck that ends up to be on it? See the way the duck just fits in there perfectly and makes an X? I don't have to be an artist. I know it works. There was one other thing that I did today. Can't find it, eh? I know I have it here. I do so many things. The English and French roulette. English and French roulette. On the wheel, it says orphan children. They show you all these numbers in sequence, all these numbers in sequence. 17, 34, 6, 57. Where's the other ones? 120, 135, the cross, creation, 66, 75, 66. The next number after this is 33 of Christ, 22 into life. The difference is 11. On this one over here, the difference between the 6th man and the 1 spirit of the 7th heaven is 11. Why didn't I go 9? Because 9 and this is 15, and that's the egg. You're in the 2 worlds. 15 and 2 is 17. This number is center on the board. This is to the right. You pull into the center. So this says 5775, and it talks about all the moons that I just mentioned before. For now, Raphael, you know what? Should I stop this purposely on 5775? It's deal. $50% off, right? It's what you see. It's what you see that counts, not what I see. And what I see that counts doesn't matter to you. Between us, that's what matters. How we vision things and how we want to see if we want to go along with our friends. That's what matters. We are in an electronic world. If you put too much energy into the wrong place, that's energy. The door opens up. It goes into the energy spot. That's bad. And it keeps going to bad. Oh, my back. I can't get back to the other way because it puts a weight on you. Raphael 7286. Thank you.